Good afternoon, everyone. It is Gina from Gina K Designs, and I am so excited to see all of you from all over the US and all around the world. Today, I'm so excited. I am actually shaking. I am so excited about what I'm going to show you today. This has been a long time in the making, and I believe that we started working on these when it was warm out, because that was the last time I think Sue and I from ThermoWeb got together and talked about it. It was actually warm out, and we went through the whole winter and we've been working on this, and it's finally here. Guys, you are going to love what I'm going to show you today. Now, everybody loves foil. Who doesn't love a little sparkle and shine on your card? And there's all kinds of ways to achieve that process. There are hot foil plates that require machines, and there are, different ways to use pastes and gels and things like that with laminators. But today we're releasing something that is so easy and so foolproof, and two different ways to do it. My favorite way is no heat at all. You're going to love it. So before we go any further and I start to talk about what we have, let's just say hello to Tom. Hey, Tom.
Happy afternoon.
Is your mic up?
It is.
Oh, good. Because, we don't want to miss anything you have to say. So I was showing Tom some of the projects that were on Instagram. He was pretty blown away, weren't you?
Yeah, very cool. It
Oh,
really looks clean.
Isn't it clean?
Yep.
That's the thing. I mean, there's been all kinds of techniques out there, like, using embossing powder and then putting foil on and then running that through a laminator and just trying to get that clean. But this is just pristine. So, how are you doing, Tom? Have you recovered from the weekend?
Much better than horrible. Yeah.
That's what we can ask for. Well, that's another thing about this process today is you don't even have to say better than horrible, because every time it works. And that's what I love. I'm telling you, Tom, you're going to be blown away because you haven't seen me do this yet, have you?
No.
Okay, you're going to love it. You're absolutely
going to love it. I was just nosing around with all the stuff over there wondering, what is this?
I know. Well, I have foil everywhere back here, and we're not gonna talk too much. We're gonna start right away because I'm gonna try to get 3 cards in, and I think I can do it because that's how easy this is. So let me show you what we're actually talking about here. Let's go to the overhead. This is called Deco Foil Adhesive Transfers. Now, I wanted to show you the actual size, and then this is the size of the package. This one is called Love Is, and this is the Gina K Designs and ThermoWeb, one of the Gina K Designs and ThermoWeb ones. There are lots of different ones to choose from on the ThermoWeb website. They have new ones by Unity Stamp Company, new ones under their own brand, and then 3 designs by Gina K Designs. On our website, we just have the Gina K Designs ones right now, but we're probably going to carry them all because they're all really fantastic. So let me explain to you what this is. This is a sheet that has 2 sides, 2 acetate sides to it. And wedged in between here is adhesive. And the adhesive is placed on these sheets exactly the way the design is. So this is going to allow you to create a foiled design without using a hot foil plate or a die, without using paper that has toner on it that may or may not show a few black specks. This is crystal clear adhesive under here. And because it's adhesive and it doesn't require any heat to be activated, you can use this with your die cutting machine. Now, I know almost everybody out here has a die cutting machine because we all do lots of die cutting. That's all you need to make this work. That is it. So let me just decline a call here while I'm on my live. And the thing about these is you can cut these out in various ways. So I just want to show you a card that I made with this particular design right here. So this is the card that I made, and you can see all of that shine, right? I used one of the Thermoweb and Gina K Designs foil mates for back here. So I did use a laminator for back here, but I'm not going to do that in today's live. I'm just going to use these adhesive sheets. Now you can see, if you get up close, you can use a microscope if you want. There is no black specks or anything on here because there's no black under there. It's crystal clear adhesive. Now, a design like this can be used this way, or if you want to cut the heart off, you can and use the heart on another project. So this is the one I'm going to use in my first project today, but I want to go through all three that we have on our website. So this one is called Love Is. Now, you know, whenever I do something love, Valentine's Day, wedding, whatever, I always have to have it be more generic so that we can use it for friendship cards too. So may your day be filled with magic. Obviously, you could use that for a wedding, but you can also use that just for somebody's birthday. You can use it for anything. Love the way we can always count on each other. So if you want, you can cut off the word love and use that in a card and foil it, and you can cut off this part and foil it and use it with a die cut word love, or you can use the whole greeting the way it is. This little banner is adorable. Love is all you need. But if you wanted to make this a baby card, you could do the word baby and then love, and then get rid of all is all you need. Just cut that off. So it could be baby love and do a little baby card. Thank you for being a friend. Sent with love. What a cute one for an envelope. You make everything better. And then our friendship isn't a big thing. It's a million little things. And then all these little elements in here can be cut out separately and used to accent your cards or your envelopes. Okay, so that's Love Is. Now let me show you the next one. The next one, oh, I think you guys are gonna love this one. Look at this. Everybody loves birthday cards, right? Can't get enough birthday cards. It's the #1 kind of card that card makers make. And this one is really fun. Now, I'm going to just recommend that if you get a chance to go to Instagram, type in #Thermoweb, and then go to recent. You're going to be blown away by what all of the designers at Thermoweb, Unity, and Gina K Designs have created using these things. And one of them particularly stood out to me this morning. It was something by Delana Carr, and she did a card using this, but she cut every candle out separately, and she cut all the balloons out separately, and she made pattern paper foiled background, which blew my mind. But that's how detailed you can get with these. If you can get your scissors through, you can cut it out and make it separate. So you've got a big cake, balloons, candles, happy birthday to you, enjoy your day, a little banner that you can use for anything, made with love. That's always fun on the back of a card. And then happy birthday. Now, you get 2 sheets of these in each pack. So once you use one, it's used, but you get 2 sheets in here. And listen to the price, $4.99 for a 2-pack. I mean, that is so inexpensive. And when you think about it, for $5, you can do probably, I don't know, like 10 cards out of these easily with all the different greetings and add foil. And then, I mean, I don't know about you. I hate to say it. I hate to admit this, but when I use something like 6 or 7 times, sometimes I get sick of it and I want something new. I kind of think we're all that way. You know, we use stuff and then we're like, okay, I want to try something new now. With these, a pack of them is $4.99. So you can use everything in here, make a ton of birthday cards and say, okay, you know what? I'm tired of birthday. Now I want to do something else. For another $5, you can do this. Look at this. Isn't this beautiful? Follow your dreams. I love this one. It's so peaceful and so beautiful. So you've got this beautiful hummingbird, very ornate. Well, I shouldn't say ornate. It's very whimsical. A big dragonfly, a big butterfly, and then, of course, a peace flower, right? And then you've got, you give me wings, wishing you peace. Follow your dream. Hello, friend. So I really like this one too for just making cards of encouragement, or maybe perfect for graduation cards where you've got, you know, these little winged creatures here. You give me wings, or follow your dream. It's just like ready to take off. So this one is called Follow Your Dreams. The birthday one is called Birthday Bliss, and the one with the love greetings is called Love Is. So for $15, if you bought all 3 of these, you've got 6 sheets of these. You probably get 30 cards out of that easily. And also check out the ones over at Unity Stamp Company's website, and they're all on ThermoWeb. They've got greeting ones that say like hello and things like that, which are really nice because you can use them over and over. Well, you use each one, but there's lots of greetings, so you can add them to other designs in your cards. Now, somebody asked if you could use these with embossing powder. I tried it this morning, worked great. You can use it with embossing powder. You can use it with Pearl-Ex powder. You can use it with eyeshadow. Remember my eyeshadow technique? You can use them with all kinds of things. Anything that would normally stick to adhesive or something sticky will stick to these. So yes, you can do that. If you're more into embossing, but you really love these designs, you absolutely can do it. But I'm going to show you how to do it with foil. And I know you guys have drawers of foil laying around, and you can do it with your die cutting machine. I will show you how to do it with a laminator, but it's the same exact technique. You're just running it through mostly the laminator for the pressure, not so much the heat. So let's get started on a card. So the first card that I want to do, you guys saw that I used this, right? I used Our Friendship Isn't a Big Thing, It's a Million Little Things. So I'm going to use that same one, and I'm going to use this again, but I'm going to cut off the heart this time. And then I'm going to use some quick ephemera from our latest card kit to throw together one of the fastest cards you'll ever see that sparkles and shines. So to begin, I found my Brutus Monroe paper snips. I am so excited. Alice, that's a great question. Does it matter the type of foil used? I don't know that 100%. I only own Deco foil from ThermoWeb. So I haven't used any other kind of foil, so I couldn't tell you. Maybe somebody else could tell you, but I highly recommend the Deco foil. It's a really nice, thicker feeling foil. It's got a little bit of tooth to it, and it works beautifully with that. So I don't know the answer to that because I don't have anything else. All right, so I'm going to be very careful here because I'm going to cut this heart off. I'll use that heart on another project. But see how close you can get? There's no margin required. So what I'm doing is I'm just cutting out the design that I want. Okay. There we go. Okay, so my design is cut out. This is the one I want to use on my card today. So now the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to get my die cutting machine out. And I am going to cut out an oval because I want to use this with, I want to put this on an oval. All right. So I'm going to use the Gina K Designs double stitched and single stitched ovals for this card. And I'm going to use just a simple piece of white cardstock. This is our Gina K Designs smooth cardstock, layering weight, white. It's a fantastic cardstock. I always think that it works really well with foiling techniques because it doesn't have any texture in it at all. And sometimes when cardstock has texture, you know, texture means divots. And where there's divots, it's hard to get things to work. So just use a smooth cardstock for this. You can use it on colored cardstock too, which is really exciting, as long as it's a smoother cardstock. Okay, so I've got that cut out in white. Now I want to get, sorry, I have to walk away from my microphone for a second. I want to get a piece of black cardstock here because what is a Gina K Designs card without some black, right? Okay, so I'm going to cut one of the single stitched ovals in black. These two layer together, and I know you guys, a lot of you guys know that. And welcome. I see about 1,500 people here from all of our platforms. How exciting is that for a crafternoon? It's always fun to see everybody. I know people have to work today, so we're not able to get as many people as we do at night. All right. But we love having you here. Now you see these layer perfectly together. It gives you that cool little 1/8 of an inch border. It's actually 1/16 of an inch border all the way around. Okay. So I'm going to put that aside. Then I'm going to cut out just a plain piece of white cardstock here. All right. Now I could cut this with my die cutting machine. Oh, why don't I? Why don't I just leave the whole die cutting machine out? We'll just use all dies today. So I think I'll use Master Layouts 2 for this. I promise my next card I won't use any die cutting. I'll use lots of die cutting on this one and none on the next one, just so you can see you can make beautiful cards even without that. So I'm going to put a piece of white cardstock in here, and I'm going to use Master Layouts 2. So Tom, if questions go by and I'm not able to see, if you could just ask me the question on behalf of the person, that would be great.
Sure. Question whether that works with flock.
You know, I haven't tried it with the flock, so I don't know if it will work with the flock. I know that it would probably work. Remember the old loose flock? Like anything loose, like it would probably work beautifully with glitter. But I'm not sure, so I can't say yes or no. If any of my friends from ThermoWeb are here, and you know the answer to any of those types of questions, please pop in and let anybody know. I am just so foil bananas that I didn't go outside of foil for this, except I did try the embossing powder. Okay, so Mindy Egan said it did work with other types of foil as well. So if you have some other types of foil and you were apprehensive to try them because of that, you can still try them. But make sure you check out ThermoWeb's foil collection, because they're like a nail polish company. They have so many colors and so many types of foil with glitter, and all the Bruce Monroe ones are so cool. The Unity, they have incredible foils, beautiful watercolor designs and fades. So check them out. Mindy's going to go try the flock. Thank you, Mindy. Okay, so I cut those 2 layers out, which is going to look really nice with this oval popped in the middle. All right, so this is going to be our basic card. Okay. So ThermoWeb says they do recommend using the adhesive transfers with our Deco foils for the best results. And that's true. You know, these are formulated. This adhesive is formulated to work with the Deco foil. So the thing about it is you might be able to get a foil to stick, but is it going to be like scratch proof? That's always a thing too. You know, I've actually worked with some foils, even with our foil mates, where it scratches right off because it's really not meant to work together. ThermoWeb always tests all their products with their foils. So pick up a few foils and just try them. Okay. Karen, you might be able to use them with gold leaf flakes. You know, I don't know, but I know they work great with the foil. Okay. So now the next thing we're going to do is we are going to place our greeting. So what you want to do is you want to be very careful not to touch the design once you peel off the backing. Okay, you don't want to touch it because it's adhesive, it's sticky, and you could damage the design. So just be a little bit careful. So you're going to peel off the back, okay? Just that back acetate. And then, because it's black, you can see exactly where you're going to put it. All right, so I am going to put it at the top of my card, and just make sure you know where you want it before you place it, because remember, it's adhesive, so it's going to stick. So here is where I want to do it, right there. Okay. All right. Now, once that's done, I'm just going to give it a light little rub with my finger just to make sure it's all in place. Now I'm going to get my die cutting machine again. And here's what I found works best for me. And others will vary, but here's what works best for me. I like to take, let me find it here. I like to take a folded card. So here is just a folded card. I like to take a folded card and lay it right on top. This gives me a little bit of extra pressure. Not that it necessarily needs it, but my plates are a little warped. So there might be parts of my plate that actually don't touch the design, and I want it all to touch the design. So one little folded card in there works great. And I'm going to go ahead and run it through my die cutting machine. Okay. All right. So now I am going to peel off I want to make sure. Well, what Sue recommended, because she taught a class on this, and what she recommended is decide what foil you're going to use first before you peel this off. So for my card, I think I'm going to use some of the Gina K Designs Passionate Pink. I store all my foils in these stamp pockets. It's really a nice way to keep everything, keep the colors separate. I cut them in half, and then I just store them in there. So this way you can figure out how much foil you need. You can lay it on top, make sure your piece covers it before you actually begin to foil. So I'm going to trim down a piece of foil here. And you see, it might seem silly that I'm keeping this little piece, but if down the line I want to foil this little greeting, this enjoy your day, it's going to fit right over there. So keep every little piece of foil. You can always use it. All right. So now I've got my foil, the size that I want. And now I am going to peel away the top index sheet. Okay. Now it looks like nothing, right? Nothing. Well, it's something. So now I'm going to make sure that I don't have any specks on there. I'm going to lay this down on top. And then I'm going to poke it in the center, and then I'm going to kind of work my way out from the design just to make sure that it's down nicely. Now I am going to put my piece of cardstock back on there again. I'm going to flip it. And then I am going to run it through my die cutting machine again. Oh my gosh, Mindy, the flock worked. That's fantastic. The foil that I'm using is the Gina K Designs in Thermoweb foil called Passionate Pink. That's the color I'm using. All right. So now, right, no laminator, no heat, no hot foil plate, no nothing. Ready? Here we go. Oh, this is so... Look at that. Perfect. Perfect. That is spectacular. And look at how tiny, the little exclamation point. Perfect. Look at the delicate loop on that R. Perfect. No black specks. No fighting with temperature. What heat should I have it at? Why is it transferring in places I don't? Nothing. Just super, super easy. And look how beautiful the negative is. So if you do have a laminator and you wanted to use it with toner paper, you know, you could put it through and have the toner paper behind. Or if you wanted to glue it down on a lighter color, you certainly could. You could actually just lay it on there like this, right? I think gluing it is a mess. I would lay it onto a piece of cardstock and I would just tape it down with some Scotch tape. And then I would create a cutout frame and put it right on top. And look how beautiful that would be. So easy. Okay. So if you wanted to use more than one color on the image, you would just cut your foil and just lay the pieces wherever you want them. So if you wanted the bottoms of the candles to be one color, cut your foil pieces to match that. And then oranges and yellows for the flames and just pop them on to where you want them. Okay, so now we have this. Let's make a quick card out of this so I can get to the next card. All right, so let me get all my plates out of the way. I am going to adhere these two panels together. My die cutting machine needs to be vacuumed. Do you guys know what I mean when I say that? It is seriously so full of little shrapnel of paper bits. You can see it all on the back of my oval here. I just need to get in there with a vacuum and I need to scrub my plates. I think I'm going to throw them in the dishwasher. Okay, so there we go. Now we have that beautiful thing. Let's layer these two panels together. All right, perfect layering there. And then, of course, we could use Passionate Pink, but I think I'm going for the Innocent Pink look. So I have that piece of cardstock right here, and I'm going to cut it down using my big tonic cutter to 4 1/4 inches by 11. So I've got a half sheet the long way. And then I'm going to get my score buddy out. And I'm going to score that at 5.5 inches. I do throw my clear plates in the dishwasher. I do. And then they come out nice and hot. And I sit them down and I put a thick book on top and it flattens them out a little bit. Okay. So I'm going to adhere this panel onto my Innocent Pink panel. There we go. And then this is going to go right on top. All right, right in the middle. Now, if you wanted to get more fancy with this card, you could have wood grained the background. A lot of you took my class this weekend and you learned wood graining. A lot of you watch my videos and you know I wood grain all the time. Now I'm going to throw some ephemera on here. So I've got some of our ephemera from our new kit. And this one looks really pretty with the Innocent Pink. So let me see what I can do here. This is really pretty too. Maybe I'll do a couple of these. Should I do a tall one? Maybe coming up. That would be pretty, kind of going around like that, whoosh, like that. I'll do those and then I'll add a couple leaves in here like this and like that. Okay.
Sherry wants to know how you line your panels so perfectly.
You know what? It is really a matter of just practicing, but I try to stand over it and I get my head over it like that. I look straight down on it and I kind of, I get real close to it and I look at the top two corners and the bottom two corners. My eyes shift back and forth between them until it looks pretty close and then I lay it down. It's really just a matter of practice though. And also having the master layouts has helped me a lot because sometimes I struggle with getting my layers right. And it's not because I'm struggling. It's because my layers aren't straight or they're not, or they're, they're crooked or they're, they're just not, they're not cut right. So I'm going to stick that one in there like that. And then I'm going to put these leaves in. Isn't that the fastest card you ever saw in your life with beautiful foil? I love the ephemera. Big fan of ephemera. And that is in our new kit. And just so you guys know, I know a lot of people miss the kit. It sold out in record time. 3 hours we sold out. But we ordered all of the components and we're going to do a reissue. So we're going to do several thousand more. So get on the wait list so you're the first one to get an email when it comes back in stock. Probably about 2.5 to 3 weeks. Okay, and I'm going to pop this flower up for interest. Did you see the way I did all of the foliage first? Got that under there so I knew how I wanted the layout to look. All right. And now this one will go right here. There we go. So there's my first beautiful foiled card. Yes, this is really a 5-minute card, right? I mean, if I hadn't just shut up and made the card and hadn't talked so much about what I was doing, but look at that shine. Isn't that gorgeous? I love the Passionate Pink because it's really a bright pink, but it works with bubblegum, it works with Passionate, and it works with Innocent Pink. So I love it. Okay, so there's our first card today. So easy. Now for the second card, and I do, you know what? I probably should show you if you have a laminator. I do have a laminator here. It's been heating up for a while. I should at least show you how it works with the laminator. Okay. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to cut a small piece of white cardstock here. I'll just cut a tiny one so I could just show you how to use it with the laminator. But honestly, it is no different. It's like doing any other foiling. And it works exactly the same way as it does with the die cutting machine. All right, so here's a piece of the ThermoWeb parchment paper. I highly recommend getting ThermoWeb parchment paper as opposed to any other kind of parchment paper. Theirs is the thinnest, and some people have tried to use parchment like waxy parchment paper, and they've ruined their laminator. So if you want to be 100% safe and get the most heat on your design, use the ThermoWeb parchment. All right, so let's just cut out this little greeting right here. May your day be filled with magic. And I'll just cut this out and I'll do it on this card, and then I'll use this for another project later. But I'm going to cut this heart off because I don't want this heart. But how cute would that be on my little envelope, right? Little heart. Love that. And you know, you can add these to different spots. So let's say you wanted to add a little heart right there. You could go back and add it. You could do it with a different color foil if you want. The pressure is not going to change the foil at all. Okay. So once again, we are going to peel off the backing. And then we're going to position this where we want it. So I would cut this out, I think, with a die. So I'm not too worried about where I'm going to position it. And I'm just pressing the design down. Now, before I peel off the top, I'm going to pick a color I want to use. So let's use this magical, brilliant blue. Look at that sparkle in that. Isn't that fantastic? I'm going to cut a little bit of that off the bottom because I can use that for something else. And I know that's going to cover the design. Put my brilliant blue scrap back in my brilliant blue. And then, okay, I'm going to peel this off. No, I'm not going to peel it off. I'm going to send it through the laminator first. Am I? No. I don't know that if I have to. Tell me, should I put it through the laminator first? I'm telling you, I'm so jazzed about the other way of doing it but I don't want to melt this. I'm just going to rub. I think it's going to work. We'll see. Everybody's screaming at me from ThermoWeb. No, put it through the laminator. All right, there's always directions in here, okay? Laminator settings, cut the design, peel the blah, 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 blah. Okay, we have to peel it before we stick it on the laminator. Okay. Nope. I would run it through the die cutting machine first to put the pressure on and then use the laminator. I am not going to screw this up. So, but I don't know that I would put the whole plastic thing through the laminator. Don't put the plastic thing through the laminator. It's going to melt. I know it. I know it. Okay, so we'll put this through our die cutting machine. Everybody has a die cutting machine. And again, we're going to just pop that piece of cardstock on there for extra pressure. I did destroy this greeting a little bit by lifting it. I don't know. A bone folder works? Okay, well, a bone folder works. I just love the extra pressure. So if you have a die cutting machine, and we all do, you can be sure that that's going to be enough pressure. Ooh, the Chucky tool. Didn't think of that. That could work too. All right, let's see if I fixed my mess up. Maybe. Well, if there's a little mess up down here, it's because I peeled it off. So we'll see. And then we're going to put this blue foil right on top. And I like to press it in the center and then kind of just work my way out from the center like a sunshine. And then we're going to put it through the laminator. And I'm showing you this because I know some of you want to know how to do it with a laminator, but I'm telling you, you don't need a laminator for this. You do not need any machine. And that's what I said in my description of this video. So for those of you who don't want to see it with a laminator, now is a great time to cut your next piece of cardstock if you're following along. A brayer might work. I think anything that pushes down onto it is, you know, good. We want to have pressure on it. Do I get a slight indent when I run it through your die cutting machine? I don't, because the cardstock that I'm using is bigger than the design, if that makes sense. Okay. Yeah, you could use the laminator with no heat. All right, here we go. See, you can see where I wrinkled it by pulling it up too soon, but look at that. Look at that, it's beautiful. Oh my gosh, the shine on that. Yeah, see, I actually love using this with the die cutting machine. It is my favorite, but I'm still going to use that because it's still there and it's whimsical. Plus, I can add sequins. Okay, so let's go back to my favorite way of doing it, the no heat method. And what we're going to do is we're going to get a piece of white cardstock. Okay. And I'm going to cut this down to 1/4 of a sheet. So I'm going to cut it at the 5.5 inch mark. I know that's a little bright because I always make Tom make it brighter, and then he does what I ask. So thank you, Tom. Okay, and now I'm going to get a piece of cardstock here so you can see this better. All right, so I'm going to use a stencil first, and the stencil I want to use is the Sunshine stencil. All right, and I'm going to put this Sunshine stencil on my piece of cardstock. I'm going to flip this over, and I'm just going to put a little bit of purple tape on here. Still have some purple tape. I'm working through it. I was a hoarder of purple tape. Just get it on the back there. Okay. There we go. And then if you want to really keep it in place, you can always add an additional bit of purple tape to the outside. Okay. So now I'm going to do a little bit of ink blending. Let me get my blending brushes here. I'm going to start with a yellow color, and then I'm going to use an orange color. So for my yellow, I'm going to use Wild Dandelion. And for my orange, I'm going to use some Tangerine Twist. Okay. So I'm going to start with the yellow. And I'm going to create the sun, and I'm going to leave it a little bit white in the center. I know, isn't this so pretty? I love it so much. Everybody's talking about this card. Look at that again. Oh, the shine. Okay. So now I'm going to start by working my way around the perimeter in here because I want to almost get it to white in the center. So yeah, foil definitely has, this is a question about what direction the foil needs to go. Foil definitely has a grain, and it should go through the laminator with the grain. So the way to tell the grain of the foil is to turn the foil over and look at the silver side. And if you have a silver foil, you just have to know which is the back side. And you can kind of see the thin little lines kind of going. So whatever direction those lines are going in, flip it over, and that's the way it goes through your machine. Okay, so we're going to start a little heavy-handed in the center here, going around. You see how I'm kind of leaving that white in the center? Because that's kind of how the sun looks, right? When you look right into it. That you're not supposed to, but it's very, very white in the center. And then we're going to keep working our way out, but as we work our way out, we're getting lighter handed. So this is just going to fade into like a nothingness. Okay. And then heavier in the center here. All right, so we've got that yellow going. Now we're going to add a little bit of the orange. So we're going to use the tangerine. Where can you get a chart of ink colors? If you go on our website, we have all of our colors on there, and we actually have a set of colors. The set has been out of stock for a long time because we're always missing colors, but at least you can see the chart right there on the website on the complete set. Okay, so now I'm using some Tangerine Twist. When using foil with ink, would you use a heat gun to make sure the ink is dry before applying the foil adhesive? That's a good idea, Karen. You can definitely do that. We're going to see how that works for me today because I'm going to be foiling on top of this ink. Now, I feel like the reason why I like the die cutting machine method better than the heat is because heat does things, right? It does things where pressure really doesn't do the same kind of things. If your ink is a little damp and you put pressure on it with foil, nothing's going to happen. But if you put heat there, maybe the foil will stick to it. It's hard to tell. Does it block the foil? So that's why I really love doing the die cutting machine method for this particular product. All right, so now I'm going to add orange in here. I'm using a light hand because I don't want it to be like super orange. I just want it to be kind of glowy around the center. And then I'm going to work my way out lighter and lighter as I go, just to orange up that yellow a little bit, make it a little more golden. So it's not, you know, not quite so lemony. Okay. That should do it. Alrighty. Okay. Now, I'm going to peel this away. I see that beautiful sunshine. Isn't that pretty? Now, I'm going to take that same yellow blending brush and I'm going to go back over it a little bit. And the reason I want to do that is because I want to calm down a little bit of the white in between, if that makes sense. So just adding a little bit of yellow in here. I'll just do the one side so you can see what I mean. See how it brightens it up and it softens it at the same time, if that makes sense? You're still not losing your rays, but it kind of softens the whole thing, but it also makes it more bright. So we'll do the same thing over here. I didn't add any more color, though, to my brush because I really don't want it to be a bright yellow. I don't want it to be blotchy. I just want to give whatever's left on the brush a chance to kind of warm everything up. Okay. There we go. And it's still white in the center. I love that look. Okay. So now we're going to start our foiling. But before we do that, I'm going to die cut this out with one of the master layout sets. Now, I'll tell you what I'm thinking about doing. What I'm thinking about doing for this card is I'm thinking about using the dragonfly coming in like this and the butterfly maybe up a little higher and then down here saying, "You give me wings." I think that will be really pretty. And I'm going to foil all of it. So you can add all the adhesive at the same time and foil it in one fell swoop. I'm not going to do that because I don't trust myself to not touch something. I'm going to do it little bits at a time. But before I do that, I am going to cut this out with my die cutting machine. And I'm going to be using my die cutting machine for a lot here, so I'm going to keep it out. All right. Are you guys having fun? Do you like this stuff? I love it. It's just such an inexpensive, foolproof way to add foil to your cards. And I think that's something that we could all use. And we're going to continue to come out with more designs. I already have more designs going with Sue. We've already talked about ideas. Very excited about that. So let's look at master layouts too to see if this will work. So if I cut this out, and I'm going to cut it out so that some of the sun is cut off, right? So that it looks like it's kind of rising up, or it could be setting, I guess. I don't want to cut it like down here. I want to cut it up here. Okay, so there's room for this here. We could actually just use the dragonfly. I feel like it might be a little more elegant if we just use the dragonfly or just the butterfly. So that's what I'm going to do. And that's how card making comes about for me. I look at things as I'm going. I change my mind. Now I'm just looking at that to make sure that the sun looks even, but you may not want it to be even. You can also have it angled a little bit so the sun is kind of coming up from one side if you want. But I kind of want mine to be even because I'm going to have my dragonfly off to one side. That looks pretty good. Okay. Ooh, I should have angled that a little bit. Okay, I'm missing some questions here. I'm sorry, guys. But if you have an urgent question and you want to ask it again, go ahead. And if you put question in front of it, it's a lot easier for me to see it. Sometimes it looks like a comment, like you might say, "Oh, that's really pretty. I like that color combination. And do you?" And by the time, it goes by. But if you say question dash, then I'll see it. Now I'm going to use a black panel because I can't make a card without black cardstock. Thank you, Jan. I like this color too. It's very kind of periwinkle, huh? Very peri. That's the Pantone color of the year. Very peri. All right. So these two panels are going to go together, and we can decide at the end what color we want our card base. We're doing it. I know it's 1:45. You know, Sherry, I think you can color after with Copics, but remember, if you get Copic on it, it's going to color the foil. So keep that in mind. And it would color, embossing powder would be the same way, because Copic markers will color over dark things. Now I'm going to layer these two together, and then I'm just going to use a single piece of cardstock on top, because this is going to make it thick enough. But I just want to really kind of frame it out so I can see what I'm doing. All right, so now I have my 2 layers of cardstock here. I'm going to go with the dragonfly image, and I'm going to have that flying up across the sun. This is going to be a very simple card, but it's going to be beautiful because it's going to be foiled. And ThermoWeb does sell black foil too. I don't know if you guys knew that, but there's a black foil. It's a shiny black, and it's beautiful. So if you like the silhouette look of these, you can just foil them with that black. Just pick that up on ThermoWeb's website. Okay, so I got that cut out, and now I'm going to peel. Well, let's see. Before I do that, I want to make sure I have a big enough piece of foil. So for foil color, since I don't have any of the black, I think I'm going to use green. What do you guys think? A little bit of green in there? I think this green is going to be really pretty over it. I'm going to try it. See how the green looks. I think it'll be pretty. I could use red too. Let's take a poll. Do you guys want me to do red with the yellow? Maybe that would be better because it'll be more sunny. Or green. Let's see. Green, 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 and not green. Those 2 comments were back to back. Sparkly green, pretty green. Love the green. Green, a lot of greens. Okay, there's a red. Holographic. I don't have any holographic foil. Sorry, foil. I've used so much of my Deco foil up, and I just have tons of my own colors, so I'm sticking with those. Okay, it's overwhelming green, so we're going to go with the green, even though I think either one would look great. Okay, so now I'm going to peel off this backing, and then I'm going to position the dragonfly where I want him or her, I'm not sure. Okay, right there. Here we go. Okay, love that. Alrighty. So now we're going to, I had to get this out of the way, it was in the way. Now we're going to use my die cutting machine. I'm going to place this here, and then I'm going to peel it off. Remember, just rub it on there to make sure you get good contact. I'm not going to peel it off. I'm going to first send it through. Let me find my piece of cardstock. I was using this one, so I'm just going to open it up and just do a single layer on it. And the reason why I did double layer the first time and single layer this time is because I've already backed it on a backing panel on this time around. Yes, it would make a very pretty sympathy card, wouldn't it? And I know it's always sad to need those, but it really feels good when you have the right kind of images for that. Okay, so I really pressed it down with the die cutting machine. And now I'm going to peel this up. Ooh, I hope I did that okay. I think I messed it up. But we'll see. I think it's going to look good enough. We'll see. If not, we'll do it again. We'll do another one. Okay, I'm going to push those down. I think I need to press a little bit harder. But I'll show you how to fix it. What we can do to fix it if one little part isn't perfect. Okay, I'm going to press that through. Ooh. It does kind of remind me of press-on tattoos too, Diana. Okay. Some of the foils, it's harder to see the grain. Okay. Oh, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Now see where I messed up because I didn't have enough pressure there? So what I can do here is I can add a greeting there if I want. So let's see what greeting we could add. All right, so we have "You Give Me Wings." I'm going to add my little greeting right there, but I'm going to do it on a separate piece of cardstock, okay? All right. So let me get a piece of white cardstock, and I'm going to cut that out first. So let's measure this. You give me wings. Let me get my Tim Holtz ruler. All right, so I'm going to do this a 1.5 piece of cardstock, 1.5 inch by 3/4 of an inch. So let me cut that out real quick here. And we'll look at it. I don't know. Yeah, yes, that's going to work. 1.5 by 3/4. Let's take a look at it and see if it works. Did I say 1.5? I think that's too long. I think I should have said, let me measure it again. 3/4 by, oh my gosh, it's like a square. Let me try that. Sorry, I know I'm off the camera cutting. Just hang with me for a second. I think I'm going bigger. Go big or go home. I'm going a full inch because I like to have some white space around the outside, you know? Kind of like a box like that. This piece seemed a little bit too skinny. It's a good measurement, but it does not seem a little too tight. I don't want to do that. That's too tight. So let's go. Let's make this bigger. Okay. So I'm going to measure that. I'm going to cut that at 2 inches. And I think that's going to do it. I always try to go for an even measurement when I can, because if I do an even measurement, then it's easy for me to cut the layering piece. If I go to some weird eyeball measurement, then it's very hard to cut the layering piece behind it. So I think that will be a good piece for it. And we can add some sequins in there too. Okay, so we'll do that. And then I'm going to cut the black piece by hand real quick here because I don't have a die for this measurement, but I don't think I need it. So this is going to be 1 1/8 by 2 1/8. And we'll see how that looks. Okay. 1 1/8 by 2 1/8. That looks pretty good. That's why I love the master layouts, because they make everything so perfect. But that, I think that will work. And then what I'll be able to do is I'll be able to pop that on here and just cover that little bit of the wing. And this will be nice and shiny as well. All right. So you give me wings. I need to get my black Deco foil. I need that black shiny Deco foil, because the thing about it is the black Deco foil, you know how sometimes when you're trying to emboss with black powder and it gets everywhere and you get all the little flecks all over the place? Foil doesn't do that. And I think I need something like that. All right, so we need a little more pressure this time. So I'm going to pop this on here.
And again, it's just one use, right?
Just one use, yep. But there's 2 full sheets in there. So every design you get twice. And remember, it's only $4.99, which I think is a steal. Okay, really want to rub that down. Kind of want to use my Chucky tool. Ooh, that's kind of a good thing to do, since we all have a Chucky tool now. Okay, I'm going to smash it through there now with this. Well, if you want to use the plastic, that's the other thing too. You know, you could also use this plastic and put it over white if you wanted as a greeting. So I guess you could get 4 of them out of it. All right, so I'm going to use the same green, and I've got plenty of it here. I'm just going to pop it right on there on this one piece that I already used. And then using my Chucky tool to burnish it in there a little bit. And then I'm going to send it through a second time. Could you have the sentiment over the wing, or do you have to use a separate cardstock? No, well, you can, but I think it would all run together because I'm using the same color foil. I don't think you'd see it. There wouldn't be anything separating it, so it would kind of, you know, all this would show through. Maybe if I hadn't used any of the wing there, it would have worked, but I definitely have to have this separate. There we go. See, I just didn't press hard enough. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Look at the detail. I mean, you can't really get that clean of a detail with embossing powder. All right. So I'm going to pop this together. I definitely think I would have liked this card more if I had had the black deco foil. So I need to get some black deco foil.
And again, that foil's missing from the wing because you folded it, or you?
I didn't put enough pressure on it. I didn't when I put it down, I didn't rub over it hard enough before I sent it through the die cutting machine. That's all. So I'm going to put this together a little bit later. I want to make one more card, and then I'm going to assemble that last card. And I might redo the dragonfly too. I might use the red because I think you're going to be able to see the red, but we tried. Okay, so I want to do the birthday one. I have an idea for a birthday one. I want to use this happy birthday to you, and I want to use these candles, and I want to kind of separate them with a little bit of cardstock. So we're going to make one more card. I promise 3. I don't care if I go a little bit over. Okay, so I'm going to start with a piece of white cardstock, and I'm going to cut this down by hand instead of using the master layouts to 3.5 by 4 3/4. And then I'm going to get a black piece of cardstock. Find it here. Black piece of cardstock, and I'm going to first cut it in half. And then I'm going to cut this one down to, the first one was 3.5, so I'm going to go to 3 5/8. 3 5/8. And then the other one was 4 3/4, so I'm going to go to 4 7/8. I understand now that I need to place an order with ThermoWeb and get some of those multicolored foils for these birthday cards and things, because this is going to be super fun. Okay, so what I think I want to do here is I want to do the candles, and then I want to do happy birthday. I think I'll do happy birthday to you. Oh my gosh, where do I put it? I want to do, should I do that, or should I do a little stamping first on the card? I could do a little stamping first. Should we do that? Let's do that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I still have this sitting out from last release. This is our birthday bash stamp set. I'm going to use some pink tones. It's going to be a pink day today. I'm going to use Dusty Rose. Let me find Dusty Rose, because these were colors that my friend Kathy used, and I really loved it. I'm not sure if she used Innocent Pink or if she used Bubblegum, but I'm going to use Innocent Pink. Okay, so let's get a tiny block. Sorry for all the noise. It's not too tiny of a block. But let's create a little area of kind of confetti around here. We should also do it this way. Let's do it this way. Okay, so we'll create an area of confetti. We'll start with Innocent Pink. This is just the little confetti stamp. I'm going to turn it as I go. All right. To keep looking at it. Oh, that's cute. That's cute. It's going to be so fun. Add a little bit more. I think I'm going to, let me clean this stamp because I'm just going to use a little bit of the stamp and I don't want the rest of it to transfer. Okay. Just going to use a tiny bit of it in here because I want it to go over here. So I'm just going to use half the stamp. Just add a few dots there. Okay. Same thing here. Now you can overlap dots. That's okay. Why am I stamping left-handed? I'm not even left-handed. Okay. All right. I'll do a little down here too. I'll make it come down this way a little bit. All right. So you see how it kind of flows off? All right. Now I'm going to go heavier in the center with a little bit of Dusty Rose. Just add some Dusty Rose in here. Yes. There we go. Boy, a birthday cake in there would be cute, wouldn't it? The candles would be so cute. But I'm going to make this an easy one. I'm just going to do the happy birthday to you. And then I think I'm going to add a couple of these extra stars. Okay, so we're going to cut the whole greeting out here. The burnishing is the key, guys. Burnishing is the key. Giving it that extra little bit of pressure. Okay. And I'm definitely doing the red. No way around it. Gotta do the red. Okay. So, and also make sure you don't have any specks anywhere too. So I am going to first peel this backing off. And then I want to place this in the center of my card. There we go. I just moved it. Seriously? I am moving it and it's not sticking? What did I do? Okay. Well, that was pretty cool, and hopefully that will work. I'm going to take my Chucky tool, give it a little extra pressure here. I bet that's all the pressure I would need, but I'm not taking any chances today. All right, into the die cutting machine you go. Isn't that cute, just like that? And that's the other thing. If you want to use what's left behind, I should really do a video on this. I should make a card with it. But if you want to use what's left behind, these would be remarkable shaker card fronts where you could use this as the acetate. It would be really cool. All right. But I have to think about how to do it the right way. All right. So I've got my piece of cardstock there, and I'm going to run this through for a little more pressure. No, Mary Frances, you do not have to go with the grain when you run it through the die cutting machine. It's because the heat shrinks it up a little bit and crinkles it, but if you're not using the heat, that won't happen. Okay, I'm going to peel gently. Wouldn't that make a really cool shaker card front? Or even just to border it out with some white cardstock and use this. Come on, ThermoWeb, you're giving me too many ideas here. Okay, so now I'm going to put this piece right over it. I think it's fine. Okay, and then I'm going to use my Chucky tool again to give it a little bit of extra pressure. Some people are saying a bone folder would work, a brayer, just your fingers if you're strong. But I'm giving it all the pressure, giving it all the love here. A shaker tag would be cute. Oh my gosh, yes, that would be cute. I feel like I could use every bit of this thing and then everything that's left behind too. All right, here we go. Hold my breath. Oh, yes, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? That is so cute. Okay. Now, I just want to clear something up here. If you see a little bit of gray right here, that is not from the transfer sheet. That's from my Chucky tool. Okay. So I probably should have put a piece of cardstock on top so that the gray from this wouldn't transfer onto this. That's where I cut. See where I cut right here? That's where I cut. And then the little bit of gray is from it, the Chucky tool rubbing against the edge. So yours won't be gray if you don't have a Chucky tool, if you're using something different, or if you just put a little piece of cardstock on top and then do the rubbing. All right, so let's add a couple little stars. You know, there's all kinds of things we learn together, and that's what's good about these videos, is that I can try things, things can happen, we can talk about them, and then by the time you get your stuff, all the tips and tricks, we can put one here, let's put one down here, and let's put one up here. Okay, and we won't have them all in the same position. So we'll kind of turn it a little bit so it's not pointed up. Put one up here. I never used the Chucky tool until today on it. I was just using the die cutting machine and it was fine. So I'm going to just put a piece of cardstock over that and use my Chucky tool. Same over here. Okay. Then I'm going to go back again with my folded cardstock and give it more pressure. That's right, Cheryl. I make the mistakes so you don't have to. You use these directly on acetate foil shaker panels. Sorry if you've already answered. I have not answered that, but I would think you could. I don't see why you couldn't. I mean, you know, anywhere that you can put adhesive. Yeah, see, I didn't get that messy edge like I did earlier. So that's the problem, was the Chucky tool. Okay, and now we're going to put a little bit more red foil on there. I can still use this piece. Cut this out for down here. And cutting one out for up here. That's right, I'm the guinea pig.
So this seems like a very economical way to get started with foiling.
It's a super economical way to get started with foiling because all you need is Deco foil and these acetate sheets. This is also a really great thing to take when you go on a crop, because I think it's kind of hard to go on a crop without your die cutting machine because everybody uses dies, right? We've got tons of dies and we want to use our dies. But then you don't have to lug a laminator. You don't have to lug a hot foil plate. You don't have to lug a million hot foil dies. Ooh, look at that. I didn't even run it through and it worked. I love that. I'm still going to run it through. Makes me nervous. You distracted me, Tom. I'm just kidding. I was distracted when I got here. I'm so excited over this. I can't get enough of it. Okay. There we go. So there. Look at that. Isn't that just so fun? So let's add a couple of sequins to this card and we'll back it onto a black piece and a red card base. And we will have a quick and easy birthday card. I think red hot would be a cool color for this. What do you guys think? We'll do that. Okay, so we'll get it onto black. Oh my goodness, in all my mess, I lost my paper cutter. I know it's here somewhere. Here it is. Wow. So I'm going to cut this out, this red hot cardstock, just half sheet here. Okay. Oh my goodness. It's so great to see all you guys. We have 1,700 people here. How exciting for a crafternoon. So Tom, I don't know, did you think of a word of the day today? Or did you decide to forego?
Well, I do have a word of the day.
Oh my God.
But you seem so on a roll here. I don't know if I should distract you again.
I think you should. I think you should because I have to put sequins on this card. Because sequins and foil together are my weakness. And you know what sequins I'm going to use? I'm going to use some of these ruby slippers. This is so cute and so fun. There we go. Ruby slippers. Get some glue.
All right, so very silly, unauthorized word of the day. So, you know, a lot of things have elastic in them.
Yes.
Right? Elastic. So that's an interesting word, elastic. So you notice sometimes the elastic kind of wears out.
Yes.
In different items.
Yes.
Depending how much weight I gained from the first time I bought it.
You mean like underwear?
Yeah.
Yes, I've seen that.
So if you're walking around wearing a size that's 3 sizes too small, the elastic might not hold up. And so that's not elastic, that's doesn't elastic.
Very good. I like that. Doesn't elastic. Oh my God. This show, people leaving, unfollowing. I know I put more glue on here somewhere, but all right. So I've got 5 sequins on there. I did 3 red ones and 2 disco ball ones. And with all that foil, that is a lot of sparkle and shine. I like that one, Tom. Honestly, I think underwear needs to be purchased more frequently. You can't wear it down to where it's just 3 rings.
No.
You gotta actually have fabric. All right. So here is my fun little happy birthday to you card full of sequins and sparkle and shine. Isn't that fun?
Delightful.
Yeah. And I'm going to work on the dragonfly one. I didn't like the green foil. I didn't like that I forgot to burnish it. You know, so now I will remember, but I think we should give these 2 cards away anyway.
2 cards?
2 cards. Let's give 2 cards away.
All right.
Oh, and by the way, if you guys are interested in any of these, I'm going to show them to you again here. This is the Love Is. This is the Birthday Bliss. And this is Follow Your Dreams. So you can buy these on our website at ginakdesigns.com. If you also want the ones from Unity Stamp Company, you can head over to Unity's website at unitystampco.com, or you can get all of them over at thermoweb.com. So there you go. But I think we all need this one for sure. And we need this one.
2 cards?
And we need the other one because I'm going to make better. Yes, yes. Yes, 2 cards.
Okay.
Okay.
Cheesy drum roll.
It's so funny that the one with the laminator, I mean, no heat, Tom. No heat. I love that. You don't need heat with this. Okay, sorry.
And the lucky winners today are, for the first card, Joann Taylor. Joann Taylor.
Congratulations, Joann. You are going to win our friendship card. Okay, and who's going to get the little sparkly happy birthday to you card?
Happy birthday card goes to Loretta Rush. Loretta Rush.
Loretta, yay, Loretta. All right, congratulations, Loretta. Well, I hope you guys like this method of applying foil. I'm telling you, this to me is such a game changer. I mean, you don't have to carry around all kinds of heavy plates. You don't have to worry about getting temperatures right. You don't have to worry about a laminator. You can just take these with you and go with your die cutting machine. I love that idea. And if you haven't tried foil before and you've really been tempted, but you've been thinking, I don't really know what laminator to get, or I'm not 100% sure, ThermoWeb makes it easy. You can do stencil techniques with their Transfer Gel Duo with no heat. You can use your die cutting machine for that. So you can use that through stencils with foil. You can use that with flock. You can do beautiful things with that. And now, using the new adhesive transfer sheets and your die cutting machine, you can add beautiful foil designs for next to nothing. Pennies. These really are super inexpensive in the big picture. I couldn't be more proud of this and more happy to be part of it. All right, everybody, head over to GinaKDesigns.com and get these 3 designs, or check out ThermoWeb or Unity Stamp Co. and see what they have as well. Thank you guys so much for being here. I am going to try to get another 5-minute card video out for you today, although I have to say this one was seriously a 5-minute card. But I will be trying to get another video out for you by Friday. I hope you like this. I think it's so much fun. And for those of you that did miss out on the kit, I wanted to reiterate one more time. We just placed a huge reorder for all of the components of our new Watercolor Floral Card Kit. And we've asked everybody, all the different manufacturers that are part of making that kit happen, to hurry it up, rush it. And we are going to do another reissue of the kit. We never do that, but that kit was so popular and so many people missed out. And there's already, a couple thousand people on the wait list. So we're definitely going to do another run and make sure that everybody that's on the wait list, at least as of today, probably by the end of today, will be able to get one. So, go ahead and join the wait list if you didn't get one. And that's where you get all this beautiful ephemera. So you can make this card with your adhesive transfer sheets and your ephemera when you get your card kit. All right, everybody, have a great day. We love you all so very much. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.